Hello and welcome to the stakeholder presentation regarding the compliance status of the PCI-DSS regulation framework. This presentation is for the board at TechConnect Mobile, including Itza White, Director of Information Security, and Jane Goodall, Store Manager at TechConnect Mobile. So before I go into the details of your recent SAQ D assessment for PCI-DSS compliance, let's first have a brief introduction to what PCI-DSS actually is and its importance of compliance status. PCI-DSS has 6 goals that cover 12 requirements. These goals and requirements are there to protect cardholder sensitive information from unauthorized use and disclosure. As a customer, you would expect every business to protect your sensitive details in the best way possible, especially when it comes to your cardholder details. These goals and requirements set the baseline for what businesses should do to protect that information. It's the minimum that any business processing cardholder payments should do. But more importantly for the business, failing to do this baseline requirement could result in non-compliance. Non-compliance could mean that the card payment providers, so Visa, MasterCard, Amex, etc., they could revoke means of card acceptance. These baseline goals and requirements are included within the SAQ D assessment that has taken place in the last few weeks at TechConnect Mobile. Okay, so now moving on to our actual assessment then. We had our SAQ D assessment on the 29th of June 2023, and again I just want to thank Jane Goodall and Itza White for their time during the interview stage and the audit process with that. TechConnect Mobile has been deemed as non-compliant. So what does that mean next? Now I've included a detailed set of results as part of my executive summary to the board, including some remediation options. These remediation options have been ordered in rank of their urgency for completion based on the severity of their inaction. Now at present, although TechConnect Mobile is non-compliant, we have got a deadline to action the remediation options and then do a reassessment. Now we need to do this before the payment providers will review their options when it comes to TechConnect Mobile accepting card payments. So it's really important that we follow those deadlines that are set and we get those remediation actions in place prior to that deadline and getting the reassessment completed to be able to hand back to those card payment providers. Failing to hit the deadline or failing to complete those remediation actions would result in the payment providers withdrawing from TechConnect Mobile. As further detailed in the executive summary document, these are the requirements that are making TechConnect Mobile non-compliant. We have a deadline date for the implementation of these changes required by 30th of July 2023. A further SAQ D assessment will be conducted to ensure this compliance has been met. It is really important that the board follows through with these remediations and recommendation points, as failing to do so could be disastrous to our business. Now, let me just ask you a quick question. Who pays for things with cash these days? It's why it's really important that the framework must be adhered to. You will essentially encounter job losses if you fail to achieve this baseline. With no customers, we cannot pay wages. It's as simple as that. Now, I believe that Jane is the right person to do the job, but she does need support from the board to follow through with these actions. So we have a deadline of the 30th of July 2023. How can we achieve this compliance status? Now, the majority of the work that needs to be completed will be helped by the integration with ABC Security Solutions. ABC will be helping us with the technical side of things, such as the vulnerability scans that are required. But there are also things that we need to do. Some of those right now, such as disabling our non-segregated customer Wi-Fi options and better access management rules around staff logins, which I'll talk a little bit more about on the next slide. These have all been also further detailed in the report that's been sent to you, and it really needs to be paramount to ensure that we land that compliance status by the 30th of July 2023. So touching on the earlier point about things that we need to take action on right away, customer Wi-Fi must be turned off until a suitable alternative is in place. Customers must not be connecting to the same network as TechConnect Mobile's business operations. This customer or guest Wi-Fi channel should be segregated and should not have access to anything else within the network other than internet access. Email acknowledgements of system changes are not acceptable. From today, a database has been set up with TechConnect Mobile head office that allows records to be updated, detailing the system changes that have taken place. This application will also track staff training and any other day-to-day jobs that are required to be completed, with an action button that staff tick off to confirm the completion. This is your due diligence, and it shows that tasks have been completed should there be a legal issue arise from a specific function from within the business. Staff login credentials are only to be used by themselves. All records of credentials lying around in the back office must be destroyed immediately. Staff must only use their credentials, and if a supervisor is required, that supervisor must log in and complete that transaction. They must no longer relay their credentials for the staff members to use. This adds to the due diligence concerns listed in the previous point. The backup pin for the back room must be removed. Staff must take reasonable responsibility to remember their pin. And all staff are to receive security awareness refresher training immediately, and this is to be further followed as per the company policy with immediate effect. Further points that need adherence to will be helped with ABC Security Solution, for which ITSA as Director of Information Security will give further details at the end of my presentation. Now that brings us to the end of my presentation on our PCI-DSS compliance status. There is a lot of information that's contained within the report, a lot more detailed information about how we can remediate those non-compliance issues that we've got as a business. Hopefully that report and this presentation will answer any questions that you have. But obviously, if you have got anything, please do get in touch with me. Please do let me know, and I will help you where I can. Thank you for your time.